Dear students, welcome to this class on merchandising and export management. In this class, we are going to discuss on pricing. Let us see what are the topics that we are going to discuss today. The first, we are going to discuss the importance of pricing. Next, the factors affecting the pricing. And lastly, the pricing strategy. In this class, I will cover only the first two topics. The first one is the importance of the pricing, and second one is the factors affecting the pricing. The pricing strategy will be for this topic. I will upload a separate uh, lecture. Otherwise, this lecture will be unnecessarily lengthy. So let us see what is the importance of price. The first thing is that the price influences the profit margin. We can very easily understand that if we go and increase the price, the profit per unit item will also increase. But overall profit may not increase because the price also affect the sales volume of the product. Next is the, as I have already told, the price affect the sales volume. That means what I mean to say is that the price and demand, these two are very much interconnected. In general, if the price increases, demand for the product will decrease. Of course, there is exception for this, but overall, we can say that it is well established that most of the cases, the price and demand, these two are negatively correlated. And lowering the price can increase the profit if the sales jump significantly. Because if the volume increases, then the overhead cost per unit will also reduces. Next is the product position. The price sends a message to the consumer about the product or the service and creating a perceived value. You can consider that if you want to compare the two products, one is 10,000 rupees, another one is of say 20,000 rupees. Say I am considering the product is a mobile phone. Now you always try to compare by comparing the price only, and always you will say that the product which is of 20,000 rupees will be of better quality, but it may not be always easy to say. But we usually consider the product which is of higher price is of better quality. Next, determine the market share. Now, price also influence the market share. Okay, sometimes marketers set lower prices temporarily to get market share from the competitors. So this we will discuss when we will discuss the how to determine the price of a product. So overall, we can say the price is important because it influences the profit margin. Next, it influences the sales volume, and it determines the positioning of the product in the mind of the customer, and also it determines the market share. Now let us see what are the factors which influence the pricing decision. Now before taking decision on the price, the marketer has to consider a large number of factors. Some of the factors are within the control of the marketers, and some of the factors are beyond the control of the marketers. Thus, we can say the marketers, the factors which are within the control of the marketers are known as the internal factors. You can see the internal factors from here, as for example, market mix, degree of product differentiation, cost, brand image, so on and so forth. And another set of factors are known as external factors. Here, these factors like price of the raw material, consumer behavior, demand for the product, these are beyond the control of the marketer. So these are known as the external factors. So what I have learned here, that the factors may be broadly classified under two categories. One is the internal factors, which is within the control of the organization or the marketer, and second one is the external factors, which are beyond the control of the marketers. Now let us see what are the internal factors which affect the pricing decision. The first one is the market mix. You know that price itself is a market mix. There are other three components of the price mix that you can say: the promotion, product, and the distribution. Now, when we decide the price, you have to consider the other three elements of the market mix also. As for example, if you go on increasing the features to the product, then what will your price, your cost of production will go accordingly. You have to increase the price. Similarly, if the higher is the packaging cost, more will be the overall cost, then you have to also increase the price. So what I mean to say in this case is that the price cannot be decided alone. Price always should be decided taking into consideration of the other component of the marketing mix like promotion, product and distribution. Next is the degree of product differentiation. Let us see what is the meaning of the word product differentiation. Product is perceived different as against the products offered by its close competitors. See, this difference may be real or maybe it is not real, but customers think so. That means you can say, though there is no real difference between the product supplied by a marketer with respect to its other competitors, but the customer considers it is different. Now, higher the product differentiation, more will be the freedom to set the price. That means what I mean to say is that if it is possible to create an impression in the mind of the customer that the product is different from this particular product is different from existing product, then the marketer can set the price at, as per his own wish. Next is the price is the cost. The cost and the profits, these are two are important dominant factors having direct impact on the selling price. Okay, now if the cost of the production is increases, so naturally your price of the product will also go on increasing. That means higher the cost, higher is the price. So this is a very general idea. Next is the brand image. Generally, the company with reputed and established brand image, they set their price always at the higher level. You can see everywhere, every category of the product, it is true. It may be the applicable in the case of the ready-made garments, it may be applicable to the electronic, or it may be applicable for the pharmaceutical industries also. Next, the pricing objective. Now, what is the objective of the organization? Organization may consider the survival, organization may consider to maximize the profit. Similarly, it may maximize the market share, or it want to skim the profit initially, or it want to become the product quality leader. So depending on the pricing objective, as for example survival or maximization of the profit or maximization of the market share or the market skimming, the marketer pricing decision will be also changed. So here you can say the objective of the pricing will determine what will be the price of the product. Next is the stage of the product life cycle. You know what is the meaning of the word product life cycle. When the product is entered into the market, it is passes through the various stages, as for example, product development, growth of the product, maturity stage, and deployment stage. So the price of the product also depend on at what stage the product is. As for the example, marketer can keep the product price at low level if it wants to enter to the market. Okay, but if the product has become already popular and it has very good sale, then the marketer can increase its price. So what I mean to say is that the product life cycle, or rather the product at which stage of the product life cycle is, this will also affect the pricing decision taken by the marketer. Next is the category of the product. So we know there are different categories of the product. The product may be of essential, luxury, perishable, fashionable, consumable, durable, etc. Now, suppose I consider the product is of luxury category. Now, this type of product will be used by this customer who are much less price sensitive. So here, the marketer has the more flexibility to increase the price. The same flexibility is not possible if the marketer want to, if the product is belong to the essential category. That's why I have mentioned here the luxury items marketer has more freedom of the increasing the price, but the same degree of freedom is not possible while selling the essential category of the. Next, I am considering the external factor. As I have already told you, these external factors to a large extent is beyond the control of the marketers. So let us see first what are the factors. The first one is the price of the raw materials. Naturally, if the price of the raw material increase, your cost of production will increase. Accordingly, the price also. So this is very common phenomenon in textile industry, where raw materials alone contribute to the 50 to 55 or 60% of the total cost of production. That means if there is increase in price of the raw cotton, the yarn price will also go up. Next is the consumer behavior. How the consumer behavior will be affected by a large number of factors like economic factors, cultural factors, socio-economic factors. Okay, so we have to consider all these factors. These factors already I have discussed in the market segmentation. So based on this also, you have to decide your price. That means here you have to, the most important thing you have to consider is that how the buyer will behave to the increased price. Okay. Next is the demand of the product. Now, demand is the single most important factor affecting the price of the product and the pricing policies. Just in the beginning, I have told you the demand of the product is most of the cases has inverse relationship with the pricing. That means if the price of the product increases, the demand will always go up. Okay, but this may not be true for the luxury items, where the price of the product even go on increasing, it may not affect the demand of the product. Next is the market structure. From your basic knowledge of engineering economics, you may can recall that the market may be divided broadly according to the perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and the monopoly. What is perfect competition? Perfect competition, there are a large number of buyers and large number of sellers, and you can say the product is of identical in nature. Now, when the product is identical in nature and there is large number of buyers and sellers, the marketer has very little freedom to increase their price because the products are identical. Next is the monopolistic competition. In the case of the monopolistic competition, there is a differentiation. The product differentiation is there. That means the products are not identical. So, in the case of the monopolistic competition, where a large number of firms compete against each other with differentiated products, the marketer has greater freedom of manipulate the price of the product. Next is the oligopoly, where there are few suppliers and products may or may not be different. And here, the price set by the marketers are interrelated with each other. That means one firm will always follow the price set by the other marketer depending on the product quality relationship. That means one firm will follow the others. Okay, they cannot independently increase their or decrease their price. And next is the monopoly, where there is only single supplier, and since there is a single supplier is there, they can increase the price and they are enjoying the freedom in this case. But it should be kept in mind that the monopoly marketer also cannot increase the price to a large extent, because if they go on increase the price, the demand of the product may be reduced. Next is the ethical consideration of the code of conduct. Ethics play a vital role in the determination of the price. Right? Now, ethics may be said as the moral values of the ethical code that govern the managerial actions. If a company wants to fulfill this social obligation, it always charges reasonable price. What I mean to say is here that every organization has its social responsibility. Okay, and because of this, they cannot unnecessarily increase their price. Next is the seasonal effect. Some of the products are seasonal in nature, and when in the case of the seasonal product, in the peak season, demand is high, and whereas in the slack season, demand reduces considerably. Okay. Now, in the case of the peak season, the marketer can increase their price because there is a high demand of the product. On the other hand, when there is a slack season, the marketer can reduce the price of the product. Next is the economic condition. This is a very important factor that we have to consider. The marketer cannot increase the price when the economy is passing through a very crucial stage. As for example, you can say in the recent considering the recent situation of the market, where the disposable income of the people has low, you cannot increase the price of your product, because if you increase the price of the product, most of the people cannot afford this. So while setting the price or while increasing the price, you have to always keep in consider the macroeconomic conditions of the country. The next is the government rules and restriction. Now, sometimes government can also interfere the price of a particular product. Of course, not all kinds of product, but there are certain kinds of product, and government sometimes frame rules for this, rules and regulation for this, and the organization has to follow this. As for example, sometimes the government subsidize the raw material for the production of a product. So in that case, on that condition, that the price of the product will always set within a limit. So in that case, the organization has to follow the government rules and regulations, and it cannot increase the price as per their own wish. So this is all about the factors which influence the pricing strategy. So what we have learned from here, there are two set of factors. One is the internal factor, another one is the external. Internal factors is within the control of the marketers, whereas external factors to a large extent it is beyond the control of the marketer, right? And internal factors we have to consider as well as the external factors. Okay, so in the next class we will upload the separate lecture for determination of marketing strategy.